Just a really quick interjection. Couldn't resist. Had to go outside even though it's a little chilly out to start shaping the body a little bit. So,
man, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything.
Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Wow, that is beautiful.
If you'd like to follow the process of turning a block of wood like this into a guitar like this, then you've come to the right place. And if you would like to see me give this guitar away, click subscribe, hit the bell. In an uncontrolled environment, try and make a few adjustments to see if I can get this thing playing as well. Well, hey guys, welcome back to Let's Build a Guitar. Today we are going to turn these two pieces into a semi-hollow body. It means we need to route out the insides and then we need to get them glued together. I've got a little construction work going on behind me. Sounds like the city is having the entire community change out their sewer pipes from clay to PVC. So unfortunately, in about a week or so, my yard's gonna be dug up. But right now, they're digging up the neighbor's yard, and so there might be a little extra noise. Thanks for joining us today. Hope that you learned something. Hope you enjoy our time together. What you're about to watch is going to be a multi-day process. Right now, I'm just going to hollow out the body. Then I'm going to glue the two parts together, and that's going to have to dry. Then I'll leave it for a couple of days to dry. Then I'll be able to route out the neck pocket and then the pockets for the pickups, and I'll route in the swirl, and then we'll bevel those edges. I'll have to sand it in there. I'll just give you a little note up here that says how many days go by between these different points. Once I have the first layer routed out, then I can take this template off and then just use the body as the new template. Now I'll just use this to route out the rest in there. Okay, I gotta be pretty careful here. I'm going to leave 1/4 of an inch. I'm just making a slight little mark there. I'm gonna leave 1/4 inch thickness on the top and bottom of these hollowed out pieces. So then I'm gonna take my router, just check the bit, which as you can see, this bit is way too big, way too deep. So I'm gonna have to change the bit out so that I can be much more shallow in here. Because even if I raise this up to the highest point, it would cut all the way through. So always double check your depths. Also, I always want to check my router bits themselves to see what kind of shape they're in after the route, because I did have one time that my router bit kind of broke off in there and it went through the wood, which was a big problem. Making certain to unplug it first. You don't want it to accidentally come on. Right, now we're going to check the depth again. This is my line that I'm going down to, and I will set my depth. Try and get that so you can see it better. Here's the line I'm going to be going down to, so let's check this depth. Okay, I'll be able to get the full depth, but I'm not going to cut that much at this point. Right now I'm just going to go up to the top, so I'll take it in looks like probably 2 different routes. So we now have the two halves routed out so that this will be a semi-hollow body. Before I glue them together, I need to put in those sound ports up on the top, which I really like. But before I can do that, I gotta remember that there's one extremely vital, important thing that you need to do when doing something like this so that you can make sure that you're sharp, make sure that you aren't doing anything wrong. It's time for a cup of coffee. This little detail keeps my wife from getting upset with me dragging in a bunch of sawdust. I'm trying to learn to take some of those things off before I go in. I don't know why she doesn't like sawdust. It has a nice fresh smell to it. Better than essential oils, I think. And that's how you get a really good cup of McDonald's coffee. Next step, sound ports. The important thing here is the saw blade that I'm using. If you want to take a look at it there, it's got a lot of teeth. It's a DeWalt. In fact, let me grab the package here. What I'm using with this one is this precision cut 12 TPI DeWalt, and those teeth on there seem to do a really good job in cutting this smooth in the way I need it. This wood is so dark it's hard for me to see my pencil lines really clearly on there, so I'm going to try and make it a little darker here so I can see it as I'm cutting. Certainly don't want to cut it wrong at this point. I'll start with some 180. Next step, sanding the inside where nobody's going to see. But I would know. So, I don't know, just one of those things. If I can do a really, really good job inside and out, it's what I want to do. I'm not perfect by any means, but give it my best shot here. It's time that the two shall become one. I'm gonna glue these together. I got most of my clamps up in the floor joists. You know, I'm down in my basement here. So I keep most of those clamps up there, so I'll just grab them and we'll do a quick little time lapse. Well, I suppose that's enough clamps for today. On this one, we've got the two coming together to make one semi-hollow body X Horizon guitar for Mr. Chili Sauce Kane out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to finish off this episode of Let's Build a Guitar with just one more thing. I'm going to take all these clamps off of this Ziricote semi-hollow body for chili sauce cane. I believe we've got the matching neck to go onto it. So we'll take a look at that with that. Gonna have to take these off really quick. Okay, it appears I've got a really good tight joint, but I'll be able to tell better once I sand this all off and even now. Now's the point where I can sand this so that those sides will line up, and then we'll be able to start routing other body cavities and those bevels on the edges. But first, let's take a look and see what we've got here. I am thinking that the neck in here is for this guitar body. Could be wrong because I do have multiple necks on order, but I'm pretty sure that's what this one is.
Always lots of peanuts.
That's a good thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a maple neck, white pearl binding, and ebony fretboard. That's gonna be nice. I always get them unfinished so that I can finish them off, get the right headstock. The other thing though is, my hope and my plan is to use some of this Ziricote on top here for the headstock. I gotta do some real work to make that happen, but it's what I would like to see done. There are other possibilities. Depending on exactly how we do this, that could end up being a black headstock up there, but it'd be nice to be able to use that wood and get some Ziricote on that headstock. That's going to take some work though, because I got to thin out that headstock a little bit then, and I also need to thin out that piece of wood that I've got to put that on there. Well guys, that's another day. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode as we've gotten some things done. It's awesome. Front, back, we're on our way. Next time we're going to get even further. Keep fighting for joy, guys. We'll talk to you next time. I couldn't help it. Just couldn't help but start on getting this bezel done. Just a really quick interjection. Couldn't resist. Had to go outside even though it's a little chilly out to start shaping the body a little bit. Got a lot to do yet, but it's coming. This time. We'll see you next time.